By the way, I'm gonna like give you like a little disclaimer. I'm gonna be as like real and raw and authentic as possible. So like I might say the wrong thing a few times. It's just me.
Hello, my billion-dollar baby, and welcome back to today's podcast. I am your host, Tara Electra, and on this podcast, we break down the billion-dollar ideas from today's cultural leaders who push past the traditional route to create their very own pathway to success. Today, I have a guest that quickly blew up across social media, gathering 70 million views, and he did it all in just 6 months by being raw, real, and vulnerable. Jake Mascato is a podcaster and content creator who shares his perspective on love, heartbreak, and the challenges we face through everyday life that could either break us or build us. His perspective is not only something I resonate with, but is something that millions of people across the internet resonate with also. This episode is going to be inspiring and motivating and might just make you feel not so alone with whatever it is you're struggling with.
This is all new to me, so it's I don't know. Hopefully, I mean I'll be good, but yeah, I'm just gonna be real.
Well, that's why I want you to be on here. So I want you to be real and authentic. I feel like the people that actually like open up, that's what actually helps people. So I'm excited.
We were saying that the other day because we were sitting down with the guy Lucas Mack, and he was saying like a lot of the people that he works with for breath work, they do like what is it called? NDAs? Yeah, like they're not he's not allowed to speak that he works with these people.
Wow.
So we had the theory that it's like Justin Bieber, like people big like that, and we're pissed off because why would like by Justin Bieber not sharing that, he could have potentially gotten millions of people into breathwork, something that's like really good. So
That's true.
yeah, so I don't know. I mean, this is what I'm passionate about, just being real. Yeah,
Yay.
so.
Well, I'm actually going to put that in the clip. So
Okay, cool.
You're on. You're live.
Live on the air.
Okay, so you obviously are blowing up on the internet because people are loving how vulnerable you're being, and you have a great outlook on relationships and your struggles. So how did you not feel so uncomfortable to like publicly share these things?
Well, so that's my best friend, Zach, over there. I've been rocking with him since I was 9-10 years old, back in Long Island, New York. He was the quarterback. I was the center. So he'd have his hands on my nuts and, like we're good friends. Like, we're very good friends. Long story short, basically what ended up happening was, I posted a podcast clip on my social media like 4 years ago. So I'm not going to sit here and say that I've always been an influencer, but if I were to get certain things on camera, like way back then in Long Island, New York, around when Jersey Shore was popular, I think I'd be Jake Paul right now because, just because like people love Italians, and I grew up in an age, 13, 14 years old. And this is totally not me, but like I had this big ego. I was getting fades before everyone else. I was going to parties before everyone else. I was like living that, I don't know, LA lifestyle.
Yeah.
And in Long Island, New York, people have like a lot of money. So I was always hanging out with the older kids and fake IDs and going to bars. And long story short, to like circle everything back, because that has nothing to do with anything. I, on my social media, posted 4 years ago a podcast clip. And then he hit me up and he was like, "What is this?" And I was like, "It's a podcast." And then he hit me up a week later and was like, "Yo, I want to start a podcast. Can you produce it?" Because 4 years ago, I just was doing you. I picked up a camera to like learn how to do all this shit. And I was like, "No, absolutely not, because you wouldn't be able to pay me enough, and I wouldn't want to hook it up for you." Like, so he was like, "Want to come on an episode?" So I was like, "Sure." So like, long story short, after I went on an episode with him, we just had this incredible dynamic. And then we've been podcasting for years, and I wasn't expecting anything of it. Mm-hmm. Like, I thought the podcast was actually a complete joke. Until one day we had a viral clip on TikTok, and then I basically just switched up my entire life. And
that's so cool.
Yeah.
Wait, so when you first went on it, you knew that you were going to open up this much? You had like no fear about being like super vulnerable?
I'll send you, I think it was May 9th, actually, during COVID. I'll send you a picture. I think on my story one day on Instagram, because you know how on Snapchat you just post your life. So Instagram, I mean, now Instagram stories are like that, but it wasn't always like that. It was like, Instagram was like, oh, here's my new belt, or here's my new car, like you're consistently flexing. For me, it wasn't, I would do that. Well, I would be more myself on Snapchat, but then really how this entire thing starts was I was a Division I football player. I actually played junior college out here at El Camino, so like super humble beginnings, like Crenshaw Boulevard, like in Inglewood,
Wow.
Yeah, and then I went to Division I, got injured. Now, this is where, my real story begins. This is where I become a completely different person, because I used to be this super egoic person. And then when I lost my identity, which was football, I started getting panic attacks. And I thought it was fake my entire life. I'll never forget, I as an athlete, I know my body. I know my body. And I'll never forget when my arm went numb for the first time and my face went numb and my heart started like racing and speeding up. I was just like, what the fuck is happening? So I went to the hospital and they were like, yeah, you're good. Then I was like, okay. So I went to work the next day, didn't think anything of it. And then the next day, face is going numb, arm again. So back to the hospital. And they're like, yeah, you're good. And I'm like, yo, I'm not good. Like, what's good with me? I'm having a heart attack. And the doctor's like, your heart's fine. You probably have anxiety.
Wow.
And I just like laughed. I like laughed at him, because like I thought it was a joke my entire life.
Wow.
Long story short, the reason why I'm so open with sharing is because that sent me on the craziest like self-discovery. I mean, really that was like, I would call an awakening moment for me, because I didn't just get 2 panic attacks. I probably got like 700. The next 6 months of my life was, I couldn't work. I couldn't do anything. And football was gone. So I'm a fucking loser in Long Island, New York. And then now I'm trying to deal with, okay, I have this crazy anxiety. I finally accepted it. I'm seeing every single doctor under the sun. The gastro, the neurologist, this person, all these tests, freaking, they're putting probes on my head. And long story short, I finally accepted that I had anxiety. But now it's like I have anxiety and I have to be a man and make money and move out of my parents' house. How the fuck am I going to do that?
Yeah.
And long story short, after 2 years of just like the right books coming into my life and the right people coming into my life, and The Alchemist, The Power of Now, Conversations with God, and then I went deep, the Dhammapada, the Tao Te Ching, Vasista's Yoga, like the Bhagavad Gita, like, and I'm becoming obsessed with spirituality. Like that's my new thing. Like it used to be like, I don't know, fucking like teen clubs in like Long Island, New York. And here I am, like, I don't even care about my ego anymore. I'm learning like the ego is the problem, because like the ego has all these needs. And if I have all these needs and all these problems, and the world is centered around me, I just noticed for me that when I stopped worrying about my own problems and I was more compassionate about other people's problems, it made me happier.
Wow.
Yeah, it made my problems kind of go away a little bit. So long story short, the reason why I'm so open with sharing this stuff is because there was just a day during COVID where I think I posted a picture and it was on my Instagram story, and it was like, the truth is everything will be okay as soon as you think it's going to be okay, something like that. And then from there, I created a brand called Selfless Films, which was like my videography brand. And it was like one part, we make, it was like one part, like, yeah, we make badass films. But the other part of it was like just a reminder to myself as a good looking alpha male, tough, savage, long Italian guy with a fucking huge ego. Like, it's not all about you, bro. So that was that. And then I did 4 years of consistent posting about mental health. Wow. 0 likes, 1 like, 2 like, 3 like, thrown around in group chats, this and that. And then one day with him, we've been doing a podcast for years, like I said, as a joke. literally 1 year ago, 3 days ago, our anniversary, first viral clip. Since then, we've done over 150 million views across platforms.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Wow, your story is so cool.
Yeah.
And by the way, like I started having panic attacks too, and it was like the scariest feeling ever. I thought I was dying.
Yeah.
And I had my first one like maybe a year and a half ago.
Oh, wow. So it's recent.
It's more recent.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
It was after like I built my business and had success. And then I had like, I don't know. I thought I was literally dying. So since then, it's like the scariest feeling ever. And not a lot of people talk about it. And I didn't even know I was having a panic attack. I just thought I was literally dying.
Right.
Like, no, I have to go to the hospital. You don't understand. I'm like telling my sister and she's like, you're fine. You're fine. I'm like, no, you don't get it. I'm dying. Take me to the hospital. So it's a really scary feeling. And it does feel like you don't know yourself anymore. That's very like scary. So
yeah, no, it creates because like I realize with panic attacks, all a panic attack is your thoughts are just running rapid and they're getting out of control. And that for me, like that's why I said I had a spiritual awakening, because how I overcame anxiety. I haven't had a panic attack in 4 years.
Wow.
Since then. I had 6 months of panic attacks. And then after getting spiritual tools, really a lot of meditation, reading these books, learning what these great minds are saying, like people have, and also finding out that so much people have this thing, and then just getting more knowledge about it. So I love that mental health is it's being spoken about more. But the thing that like saved my life was I realized that I wasn't my thoughts, because that's a panic attack. Arm goes numb. First thought, oh shit. Heart, this starts racing. Oh shit. And then for me, it was always like, you're fucked. Like, and then my mind would just get out of control. As soon as I started meditating, it sounds insane, but I became the witness of those thoughts. And I was just able to identify, I'm not that. There's a monkey mind, Buddhists call it. It thinks all day. Joe Dispenza, you have 60 to 70,000 thoughts per day. But then there's an awareness inside of you that's so powerful. And as soon as I started living from that place, I could never have a panic attack again, because I just call my mind's bluff.
It's the watcher, right? Is that what they call it in The Power of Now? The watcher?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like it's the all knowing that like sits and watches your thoughts.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I got like super spiritual in my life, and I feel like that's the reason I have everything I have today. But then I got super into work, and I worked myself too hard. Probably. That's what I'm like reflecting on. And then that's when I had my panic attacks. Yeah. And so it was like my way of knowing that I have to like slow down and start to take care of myself again, rather than trying to take care of everyone else. And so it's crazy that some people get introduced to it in different ways. And it's like a way to like reflect on yourself if you look at it that way. So I feel like it's really powerful.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to give you your flowers, because I'm sure a lot of people know who you are and like you've done great things, but like we're sitting in, I don't know, it's got to be a multi-million-dollar mansion like in West Hollywood. I was telling him I lived in Los Angeles for years, and I was on Crenshaw Boulevard. Like I never got to come up to the hills, and like I know the company Unruly, because funny story, I actually was the videographer for like Abby Weatherington for a little bit.
No way.
Yeah. So that's like
so cool.
We have like links, we have ties. Yeah, like you have no like it's a crazy story with that as well. But no, like I know who you are, and like you, like from what I understand, I was telling people I was coming to do this, and they were like, oh, she threw her company through the #1 Halloween party in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
What the fuck, like, I don't know. I went in the bathroom, like, there was, like, gold and fucking, like, I don't know what the fuck is going on in that bathroom. Like, this crib, there's a pool, whatever. Anyway, long story short, you're, like, you did your thing, so, like, massive flowers to you. And,
Thank you.
You're in such a good position now, because you've already achieved so much that now I feel like you're ripe to now really go deep inward, and you're growing this platform. You're going to help so much people. So, flowers to you.
Thank you so much. That means a lot. Yeah, it wasn't always easy. And like, if it wasn't for me, like going inward and getting more spiritual and all the books that you said you read, I read a lot of them too. I wouldn't have all this. And it's funny because I literally used to go to Runyon like every day, and Runyon's all the way over there, right? And I used to like look down from the hill and be like, I'm going to to live in one of these houses one day. So I literally manifested everything. But now I think once you get to success, it's hard to not feel like you have to keep going and more and more and more and more. And so that's when you got to go in. So yeah, it's cool. Yeah. Well, obviously you've done a lot of like deep understanding of yourself. Yeah. And so you know a lot about relationships, and you talk about relationships on your episodes. And so what is the most important aspects to you when finding a relationship, or the other partner should have in their life?
Most important aspects to me, you're saying like what qualities do I look for in a woman? Mm-hmm. Well, so you know what's funny about relationships? I've gone crazy viral for speaking about relationships, but I'm no relationship coach. You know?
Yeah, but I think that it's because you're like super raw and real about shit that everyone goes through. Yeah. So I feel like you have some stuff to say.
No, I certainly have stuff to say, and I have to stop being hard on myself. Someone told me that last week, but like it's just funny because, you know, there's a lot of things with relationships I haven't even put deep thought into. It's, you know, when I was speaking about relationships, it was just because I got my heart broken, you know, and I just wanted to share. It helped me, you know. Mm-hmm. But what qualities I guess I would look for in a woman?
Like what aspects when you're looking for a relationship are important for you for the opposite person to show up as now, being someone that's done the work to like...
I need to be, and it's very frustrating because, you know, here's my thing. I'm pretty much open to everything and attached to nothing. And sometimes it gets toxic because I'm so like, part of me wants to be like, I need a woman that loves God. I need an ambitious woman. I need a woman that has a family. I need that loves family. But the last girl I dated was a stripper. And I was so into her, you know, and so there's a weird, but the reason why I was open to like talking to this stripper is because I saw that as a learning lesson. So the point that I'm trying to get at is like, I don't really need I haven't gotten to a place at 26 years old where I've identified that I need someone to be a certain way, because I understand that even if I enter something stupid and maybe this is a maturity thing, but like my point of view is if I enter something stupid and I get my heart broken, I just got stronger. And I learned so much about myself. So, you know, now I probably could like take out a list and like design the perfect woman for you. But you know, like I don't even think that love is a weird thing because it doesn't make rational sense. And attraction doesn't make rational sense. It's, you know, like I there's been times in my life where I found women that were perfect on paper, and I just was not. There was just a mishap. The connection really just was not there, you know? And there's been times in my life where like, you know, and like Zach knows, like all my boys are like, bro, what the fuck are you doing? Like this is doomed. Like this is gonna end. And I'm kind of at this place where like, bro, if I like if it ends or if it doesn't end, I subscribe to the belief that everything in life is a learning lesson.
Yeah.
So at least right now, and if you ask me this question at 30, I'll probably be super dialed into what I want out of my woman.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I was going to say, so you have like no fear of getting hurt then?
No, because I actually like in a sad, it's not that I like getting hurt. It's that I'm so okay with whatever God has in store for me, because life for me has this past 4 years, it's been super great and I've accomplished a lot of amazing things, but really more so it's been hard. It's been really hard. Like this shit is no joke. Like this, like I said before, trying to manage your mental health, but then also being a man and living in a world now where your women at the top, you're so established, like meeting you, like how can I compete with you? I can't, you know, and I'm not saying that it's not even about competing, but it's just, there's so much to life, and life is like kind of so hard that I really just kind of got to a place where there was things in my life that I really wanted. I wanted more than anything. I would have done anything for them. And I prayed to God, please, I need to have this thing. And just like that, gone. And I couldn't do shit about it. So I'm at this place where like, But then you know what? I end up finding out years later that that wasn't the thing for me. So now I'm
So true.
Yeah, I just subscribe. I'm just so subscribed to the belief that whatever happens to me, I'm okay because for whatever reason, well, not for whatever reason, I think that everyone in life is supposed to do something great. I think that everybody here has like a mission, has a purpose. And the reason why people suffer is because they don't want to seek to find it. But I do. And I've wanted and I've showed up every day for 4 years and really have not gotten much back. But I still show up every single day. And that's where I'm kind of at this point now where it's like, God, no matter what happens to me in my life, I'm completely okay with it because I trust you. I love life. And I believe that I'm going to be okay.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
So you're kind of just living in a way that you're allowing whatever is coming into your life to be there, to know that it's there for a reason, and allowing yourself to feel it because at the very least you're going to learn from it.
Yeah.
That's really empowering.
I control what I can control. Like, we're busting our fucking ass. Like,
Yeah.
we shot 10 podcasts this week. You know, we're out here. We're messaging sponsors all the time. I want to talk to you off camera about brand deals and shit because I don't fucking know. But like, we're busting our ass. Like, we're really doing research. Like, not only am I trying to grow a podcast, I'm also heavy on YouTube now. I just started in the past 2 months.
Super cool.
My first short ever in the past 30 days just did 10 million views.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's wild.
But it's hard work. Like, I didn't eat food for 7 days. That was the video. No food,
Wow.
7-day fast. And now I'm doing a video, 30-day carnivore diet.
Wow.
And do I want to fucking eat red meat for 30 days and not eat food for 7 days? No, but I believe in my mission and I believe in my message and I know it's supposed to get out there. So now I'm taking my filmmaking experience and I'm busting my ass and I'm gaming the algorithm and I'm not being lazy. And then I guess it's putting me in a position to speak with, you and hopefully, in the next year become one of the biggest self-help YouTuber on the internet.
Fuck yeah. Proud of you.
Let's go.
I'm excited to see that. I believe it too.
Yeah.
It's funny because all it takes is you believing it. It's like, if you believe it, then it's going to happen.
100%.
And it's like, how long do you feel like it got you to be like so aligned and trusting in the universe and in yourself and knowing that you can do these things? Like, were you ever like was there ever a point you weren't like that?
Well, the thing is, like, I just saw success at a young age, and that I think hurts a lot of people is they never really actually achieve something great at a young age. So, people never push the boundaries. They never push their limits because they don't know what's possible. For me at a young age, going back to before, I was probably the most popular kid in Long Island, New York when I was 14 years old.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was a MySpace, Facebook early day influencer. Just because like I don't know why, but like I just achieved that thing. I guess bless God, but then after that, God had to humble me and smack me in the face. And then I had to learn more about life and learn that life isn't all about you. And that's when I became mission driven. And that was like, I'm going to like, fuck putting my value in me and my beauty because there's always going to be someone better looking than me. There's always going to be someone taller than me. There's always, fuck that. Like, let me put my value in a mission where my life becomes more about a collective goal. And that's when I found football.
Wow.
And I love football because it was like, we would say before games, like, always do your 1/11th. Like when you're on the field, you have 10 of your brothers next to you. Blood, sweat, and tears you guys have been through. That's something not a lot of people understand. Like, it's a scary, fucking dangerous game. Like, before every kickoff, my heart would be beating out of my chest because I thought I was going to get paralyzed,
That's scary.
Very scary, And then here I am, like this 6'2" Italian kid coming to South Central Los Angeles to play against these huge Polynesian, like USC, UCLA bounce backs. And I'm like, game fucking on, But then my goal was to get a Division I scholarship, and then I did. I got a full ride scholarship to Missouri State, stipend. And then the whole point is that my mind from a young age was I always knew I was supposed to do something great. I always knew it. And there was a disconnect in my life because for a long time I played the other role. When I originally, when I dropped out of college, I had all that anxiety. My saving grace was obviously spirituality, but then I found the camera, and I'm a fucking assassin. Like, yo, I probably could have shot some crazy shit of the Unruly like party, like a after party shit. Like, I don't know, a mixtape of it or whatever. Like, we can do anything. Like, I could shoot weddings, music videos, podcasts, this thing, everything at a high level, and that was beautiful for me. But then my ego took a hit when. This is a crazy story, actually. So it's all right if I speak too much.
No, I'm interested. Go ahead.
So long story short, so I was doing all this filmmaking shit for like a year in New York, and I was like doing my thing, growing my brand, whatever. And then I met this like influencer cat in New York named Miles Cromman. You know who that is? Okay, so he's from Miami, and I was just speaking to him, and he was telling me that he owns this company called Model House Los Angeles, and they're like an influencer marketing agency. I don't even know what the fuck that is, So then he's like, "Yo, I want to produce this podcast in Miami called the Yacht Cast on this mega yacht with all these influencers and all these celebrities," and my skin is tingling because I'm like, "Oh shit, here we go! Like, here's the opportunity." So I'm like, bro, I'm a camera guy, this, that. He's like, yo, come down. So he flies me down the next week. First episode, Steve will do it. Second episode, Charlie Jordan. Third episode, Tana Mojo.
Oh, I feel like I've seen that podcast.
Yeah.
They're all sitting on the chair with like a table here and they're just filming. Okay, yeah.
So I produced that.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, so it was and if you judge it based off of engagement and things like that, I shot. I didn't edit or post it, so don't judge that. But I'm saying I was then I'm this kid. I'm in like a regular lane in New York, and now I'm with all these influencers. Like I know you on Unruly, Charlie, Alexa Adams, Tana. I mean, so many. I met so many of these people. And it was a crazy moment for me though, because I was always valuable my whole life, coming from like that popular New York thing. But I was the camera guy, and I didn't get respect. Actually, I remember when I first met, I'm not gonna name names, but I met some like influencer ladies that like, they thought I was cute, and like they told people I was cute, but they couldn't get with me because they couldn't take me serious. At least that's what I felt. Mm-hmm. And then I'm staring at a problem, because I'm like, okay, I live in Miami. I can't even go on a date here because not only do I not have money, but like I'm at such a disadvantage. Like, people have fucking money here, but then I learned like everyone's capping. Like, no one really has fucking money. But
so much is smoke and mirrors. It's crazy.
Oh my God. But then, like, long story short, I did the influencer thing for a year, got paid dick, but like I was able to see all these influencers, and I was like, not everyone, I'm not naming names, but like for the majority, as far as like the men go, I'm better looking, I'm kinder, I'm smarter, I'm harder working, I'm tougher, I'll rip their fucking skin off, like I've done more spiritual work. I've been rocking with him for fucking 25 years, like 20 years. Like, wow. That's my team. Like, back home, like as soon as like this thing really blows, like I'm gonna be on some Drake shit, on some mob mentality. Like, I'm bringing my team with me, because how I've noticed with like, and I'm not saying this is what it is in LA or like for the most part, but like the transactional thing that happens here, it seems like as soon as someone's not lit, then people stop fucking with them. And that's just not how I want to rock, because I fuck with people based off of how big their heart is. Yeah. And so, yeah, I mean, I say all that to say that, like, I just believe things are possible just because I've achieved things. And then now we're doing this influencing thing, and we'll see where it goes.
I'm excited for you.
Thank you.
What's cool, too, about, like, creating your own core group of people that you can trust is, like, as you get more successful, it gets more lonely. Yeah. Like, it is so true. And I saw it, like, firsthand. So there's less people you can trust. There's less people if like they like you for you. And then I went through a phase where I'm like, I'm actually missing all like my old friends that liked me before all this shit, And so when you bring that core group of friends with you, you can really build something great and have good people around you that genuinely want to see you win. And like who you hang out with is so important.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they really do affect you. But I think once you start getting into LA or into like groups of successful like influencers or business people, the bar is raised so high that it's really hard to like feel confident anymore in the things you're doing. So it's like, oh shit, everyone's successful in this room, or everyone's doing something. And then it's like, how do you feel like you're not so behind?
But I'm so happy because I had to, I hit up everyone for help. Yo, can you help me with a title? Can you help me with a thumbnail? Do you want to come on the podcast? Do you know anyone that wants to come on the podcast? Can you connect me with a YouTube consultant? I have no fucking idea what I'm doing.
Yeah.
No answers. I'm like, bro, I helped you move out of your fucking apartment. I spent an entire day moving furniture.
Yeah.
I can't even get a fucking answer.
Wow.
Like, really? You know what I'm saying? Like, and it drove me insane because, but I do get it though, because a lot of life and business is value exchange. But I'm like, bro, like if we're talking value exchange, like, bro, just believe in me. Give me a year, watch what the fuck I'm gonna do, you know? But it just gets to this weird place where a lot of people, when if somebody meets you and you're in a lesser position than them, they can't stand the idea that you're gonna pass them. It would drive them insane. So I was just so happy because, you know, yes, a lot of people are in these amazing positions, but who sits above everyone? Mr. Beast. Why? Does he live in LA? No. He lives in fucking North Carolina. He's not using people to get ahead. He's just the best at content.
Yeah.
So so now I see it, like I've realized like it's made me such a better, and that's why like I've grown 110,000 followers in the past 2 months on Instagram alone.
Wow.
You know, just because I know the fucking algorithm, but it's because I had to go out and learn it.
Okay, so tell us the algorithm.
Yeah, it's super simple. It's just the game is retention.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just retention, but like there's different games, you know? So like you know, as far as like if I had to give podcast advice, like you're doing the right thing, like you're not half-assing production. Because like if you want to stop the scroll, hey, for like anyone that needs podcast advice, and like first of all, this isn't even really a viral topic, like just right there, like I wouldn't even talk about this on my own podcast, but like because we're here, and then that's why whatever. Anyway, like we'll talk off camera. I'm passionate. No,
I like to talk to, like, I want my fans to be people that are really trying to build their career, whether it is through social media or watching other people reach their dreams and how they got there. So I feel like it's an interesting topic. And a lot of the people that are watching are probably into social media, how to grow their own following and things like that. So what advice would you give someone that wants to get more views on their videos?
I would say, and this is going to be generic advice. And,
Okay.
and I'm a generic advice guy because I'm a big believer in like there is no one size fits all answer, and like mommy and daddy and the influencers, you know, freaking Justin Bieber is not going to come post content for you. Like you're going to have to learn that shit. So the number one piece of advice that I would give people to post good content and then to do anything good in life is good quality, and good result is all about care. How much do you care about something? People have like this outsourced mentality, right? Where their content, it's hard for that content to work. And I'm not saying, I know you're outsourcing right now, your content can still work if you care about it. But I'm saying a lot of people do a podcast because, oh, I just got to do a podcast. They don't care about it. So it's never going to work. So that's step one. You have to care about it. Now, as far as like a practical standpoint, it is so easy. Like there's so much resources on YouTube. Like if you want to, it really depends based off of which type of content. What type of content do you want me to go in on? Anything?
I guess yours.
Okay, so like podcasts. So like I would say like the best thing you could do like right off the bat is like you need to get someone's attention in the first 3 seconds. And the hard part about that is that when you're sitting down, yes, you want to come up with a good hook for a clip, but a good hook for a clip is not as interesting as if you're not doing a podcast. You could there could be an explosion. There could be this crazy thing happening. We're just laying in bed. So right off the bat, I'd say you're already off to a good start because the visual, we're laying in bed. It's already a little disruptive, right? Yeah. What's going on there? Second part, production. You want to start a podcast, we have $50,000 of equipment. I've slept on the floor for the past 4 fucking years. You know, like every single dollar I make goes back into my equipment. I shoot on a $10,000 camera. I'm fucking 4K. How you doing? You know, like, you know, because you need it. So right there, care, production, short form content. I mean, that's no secret. Like TikTok, Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts. It's not about, people think it's all about maximizing as many clips. You know, what I thought for a while was post 60 clips a week, just fucking flood it. Terrible fucking idea. I post 3 clips a week on Instagram. Sunday night, Tuesday night. I'm not gonna give my nights. Fuck you guys. I post 3 times a week. Find your own times. They work for me. Anyway, long story short, find your times. Don't flood it, but get fire shit.
Yeah.
And after a year, you begin to learn what works and what doesn't. And then the biggest blessing is once you have your first viral clip. Because once you have your first viral clip, if it was about relationships, guess what? Next podcast, I'm bringing on a fucking relationship expert.
Yeah, that's so smart.
You know, and then that's like part of the game. But like, you know, like if like, let's cut it off there. Like go out and just start. And then if you really need content advice, hit her up or hit me up personally at Jake Mascato, and I'll get you right. I could promise you I'll answer anyone back that needs content advice.
Well, I think for you, the thing I see, because I work with talent, and I feel like what I'm really good at is seeing someone's like potential of like what is really helping them be successful. For you, you have like such a deep confidence about yourself when you speak, and I think that really pulls people in when they're listening to you. You just like, you're so confident, you hold yourself so well that like people just know that they like believe what you're saying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that's not easy to do for a lot of people. So I really want to dig into that. Where does like, how did you get such a deep confidence with who you are and knowing who you are and knowing what you're saying is like.
Yeah, well, I mean, also, like, another thing is, like, you can't fake things in life, and, like, not everybody can be an amazing podcast host. Not everybody can be an amazing influencer. Not everyone, like, you don't want to do something just because someone else does it.
Yeah.
You know, we spoke to Lucas Mack yesterday, celebrity breathwork coach for Jake Paul, MGK, the Kardashians, and he was telling us about his 4-hour morning routine. And I started getting down on myself because, like, I haven't read a book in the past fucking 3 weeks, you know? And he's like, brother, he's from New Zealand. I'm not gonna do it, you know, I'll get canceled. But he's like, brother, don't base your lifestyle off of my lifestyle. So for me, it's so natural, and it comes so easy, and it was the perfect storm of every single thing that happened that had to happen to me in my life. And that's why I'm such a big believer in God, because I love the guy that I am. Mm-hmm. I love it. It's fun. It's fun being passionate. It's fun being confident. It's fun being doubted, and then spinning the block a year later and being like, oh hey, like,
yeah,
you know,
that's the best feeling.
You know, like it's but then it's also fun. Like I'm not lying. The thing that I'm most passionate in the world is consciousness, awareness, presence, because I produced the yacht cast for a whole year. I was on 110-foot mega yachts. I did get with beautiful women and models and this and that. And like, don't get me wrong, like I'm not done. Like Jake Mascato's coming, you know, but like I'm not like it's only so fulfilling. Mm-hmm. It's only so fulfilling. Why is Jake Paul coming out with ayahuasca and breathwork and this and that? Because he achieved everything in the world.
Exactly. So true.
And now he's at the point where like the thing that he loves, like the thing that he wants is just good people around him. And you can have way more fun in a field by yourself, sharing a good meal with the people you love and a sunset. And that can be way more fun and way more fulfilling than driving a Rolls Royce. Mm-hmm. I'm sure you know, like, I mean, well, What do you, I mean, you would be the better person to ask. So like, does the nice things, like, does it get old or?
I know, it's so weird because everyone would say that to me, like, oh, once you have the thing you wanted, it's not as fulfilling anymore. Mm-hmm. I think like, it just depends. I think for me, I genuinely did work for everything I have. Like I never got, my parents didn't pay for shit, like nothing. I did everything myself, and I went through so much heartache to get to where I am. I've been fucked over 50 million times in LA by a lot of men because I'm a woman in business, and
Fuck
it's
those
fine.
guys. Yeah.
Yeah, but I always look at it as my biggest strength that I'm a woman in business, because I can open a lot of doors, and guys have their guards down and they don't expect me to know what I'm saying or do what I'm saying, right? And so I feel like a lot of them I've been like, hi, once I'm more successful. So yeah, so that's been fulfilling for me. But I think for me, I've actually, like, because I'm really spiritual, I know, like, at the end of the day, like, everything is fleeting, and I never want to be someone that takes things for granted. I've seen a lot of people get successful and then lose it all. And so for me, I feel like I genuinely am super grateful still. Like, I wake up in this house and I'm like, I can't even believe I live here still. Like, I genuinely am always happy. And I'm genuinely happy for other people's success too. Like, when I see someone else has, like, the house they wanted or the car they wanted, I'm like, that's so cool. Like, I celebrate their successes. Yeah. And that's my biggest thing for me. Like, I can tell when someone, like, is genuine, because, like, people will come in and be like, wow, I love your house. And, like, they're successful, but they're, like, happy for me. I'm like, that's a dope quality, right? You want to be around people that actually want to, like, encourage you to succeed. And so yeah, for me, I've still been grateful and happy. And of course, there's sometimes, like, I forget and I'm in a sad mood or something happened, and then there's times I just laugh at myself. I'm like, dude, like, think about you back in the day. If you saw you complaining right now, you'd be like, what the fuck are you doing? Right. I remember the first time I got this house and I got, like, something happened to me and I was, like, sad, and I was, like, sitting on my balcony and I was all, like, crying. And then I'm like, look at where I am. Yeah. Like, old you would be like, what are you crying about? So I think it's just about, like, checking yourself as you continue to succeed, and knowing that no matter how much you get, you're always going to want more, and you're always going to think you should be doing more things or leveling up or whatever. But I think, like you're saying about, like, Jake Paul now wanting to do ayahuasca or doing these things, you start to see that it's not everything, and it's all about the people you genuinely are around that actually give a shit about you, that you have real connection with, that wouldn't fuck you over. And, like, that's the most important thing. So yeah, life's crazy.
You have a mission. Like, that's such a beautiful thing in life, is, like, you have something to aim at. Like, you didn't build a brand around vanity, you know, like, your brand is you're a business fucking woman. Like, you come across the street, like, you're like Mark Cuban out there, you know what I'm saying? No, for real. Like, I mean, that's how I view you, you know. I don't know, I mean, maybe fuck other guys, like, yo, if they came from fucking daddy's bread, they got the trust fund, they're worth $1 billion, and I don't know, maybe they're assholes to you. Fuck it, you know, it doesn't matter. Like, you did some crazy shit. Actually, can we rip a Journey podcast with you after this?
Yes.
Okay, good, because we'll produce it. I have all my equipment, because I want to learn more about your story. Yeah. Because you're very fascinating to me.
Oh, thank you. Vice versa.
Yeah.
Okay, so a lot of men obviously aren't as connected with their, like, emotions or as in touch with it, or maybe feel ashamed or feel weird to be vulnerable. And so it's hard for some females that have or are in a relationship like that. What advice do you have for girls that are in a relationship with a man that isn't in touch with themselves?
Yeah, you're fucked. I mean, yeah, no, you're fucked. I mean, what is he going to get in touch with himself all out of nowhere? No, you're fucked. Pick someone in touch with themselves. Wow. Yeah, absolutely. What, like, you know, like, I mean, people really don't change that much unless they have unless they lose a parent, or maybe break up with the guy and see how he reacts, you know? Does he become a demon and start flirting with all your best friends? Good thing you broke up with him.
So true.
Does he go to the self-help section at Barnes & Noble, lose weight, start reading books and start meditating? Okay, he's a good guy. He was ready to change. You can't change anyone. Like, that's from here. Like, I learned that. You can't change a single thing about a single person. You might think you can. And even if you do, and it lasts 6 months, that person resents you. Right? So, I mean, and once there's resentment, I mean, your relationship is done. So I feel for those girls, and that's why, like, I love being me, because it's like, dude, as soon as I get money, I'm going to get any girl I fucking want, because, like, guys aren't doing the work. And that was an egoic thing I just said, but, like, that's part of my karma. Is, like, I told you I have a big ego. Selfless Films, I made the whole fucking brand because I have a big ego, but, like, at least I'm self-aware about it. You know?
Yeah, that's so true. A lot of guys have a big ego and have no idea.
Yeah, like and to me, like it's not, and it's just more fun now. Like when I have a big ego, I'm just having fun. Oh, I'm good looking. I'm wearing a suit. I'm driving a car. I put a watch. It's fun to me, but I don't take it that serious. And I would never wear a watch in front of, like, I would never go to my junior college and put on a watch, because all that does is make people feel shitty about themselves. And that's not what I'm here to do. And there's going to be times in life when I slip up, but like that's the thing about me, and that's the thing about that's the thing about guys that are self-aware, that aren't self-aware, is when they slip up, they'll do the opposite of own up to it. They'll gaslight you and put it on you. You know, so I would just say to women that are with guys that aren't self-aware, and then also, you attract what you are as well. So like, you know, you need to like do some soul searching there as well. And, you know, really, if you're super vibrating high, I don't even think you would be that attracted to someone that's not vibrating that high. And I think that's where honesty comes in. And also, if you well, no, actually, I don't know. I mean, that just sounded good for the clip, so I said that. But
No, I think that's so good.
Yeah?
Everything you answered was so fucking good. I was like, I loved it. Yeah. And even that is true. What you just said at the end, you wouldn't even be attracted to them once you're vibrating at that level. So true. So anyways, that was good.
Relationship coach, Jake Mascato, add it to the fucking list.
No, I thought
Life
that was a really
coaching,
good
5,000, 30 minutes. No, I'm kidding. Yeah.
Have you ever fallen in love with a version of someone that you made up in your head?
Yeah, every girl I've ever been with. Yeah, every girl I've ever been with, you know? You know, it's funny. I'm kind of at a... Yes. The answer is yes. It's a problem that unreflecting, unself-aware people do, and it kind of shows you your maturity, right? Because if you're very mature, and you're very self-aware, you would be more rational about a relationship, because you know the longer you stay inside something that isn't serving you, the more hurt you're going to get and the more time you're going to waste. So, yeah, that's something that everyone does. I've certainly done it a bunch, and it's because I love love.
Yeah.
I love love. You know, like a lot, like I don't even know if I really believe there's one soulmate. You know, like I think now I do believe in monogamy, and I'm going to like give my wife the world, and we're going to have the most beautiful relationship in Mascato clan. Our kids are going to be great. You know, it's going to be beautiful. But like for like right now while I'm dating, like I've loved this girl. I've loved that girl. I've loved this girl. Cause like love to me, I don't think love is something that I've said this before. I don't think it's something you say to someone. You don't give me love. Love lives inside all of us, but somebody turns it on. It's like a switch, right? Like that's what I think about love. So there's been so much women in my life that have turned on that switch. There's been so much things in my life that have turned on that switch. Going to the gym, football, hanging out with the homies. Like I'm in love. Like that's the secret to life, is like take romantic love and place it outside of just romance. Can you be in love with your morning routine? Can you be in love with the food that you eat every day? Can you be in love with the people that you hang out with, the people you surround yourself with? You know, that's when life really becomes amazing, because the best feeling in life that I've identified is love. And then just imagine being in love every single day and then not placing it somewhere with someone else that can take it away from you. Yeah.
You're so cool. I never say that. You have the best answers. I'm so proud of you. You're gonna continue to crush in life.
Like I've seen the people you've had on, like, and respect to them. They've all done a great thing, but we came up a different way. Like we own short form podcasting.
Yeah.
Like we own it, you know, like we like, you know, because it's not something that when you're at that level, you don't have to care that much because your name already means so much.
Exactly.
And you have the power to collaborate with other people. But like, you know, from growing a brand standpoint, I used to do digital marketing. Like that's how I made my nut. Like I was doing last month. I shot videos for real estate companies, plastic surgeons. I shot freaking Halloween parties. I don't want to do any of that shit.
Yeah.
But we got to make bread and fund this, because like fucking the message has to get out there, and I believe in myself, and it will.
Yeah. But not only that, like the things that you're saying are so like, I mean, woke is a bad word now, but
I've read 1,000 books.
Like the things you're saying are so true.
Yeah.
So anyways, you have a really good perspective, and that's really cool, because the way to find love is to bring love into your life more.
100%.
Yeah, find more things to be in love with and you'll attract love in your life. So
100%.
that's cool. One of the things we were just talking about was falling in love with the reality of someone that you made up in your head. Why do you think that you can have that with some people and then not have it with others? Because I totally align with you. There's been situations where someone's good on paper, but I'm just like, eh. But then there's situations where, like, for me, what I think it is like, I'm like, oh, they check a lot of boxes. Yeah. Like they have certain things, or maybe I'm like attracted to them and then they have certain things I'm looking for. So I just automatically like fluff the rest. Mm-hmm. So what do you think it is that makes you create a version of someone that might not be real?
You know when you're doing it. Yeah, like that's simple, like, yeah, like, like everybody, I mean, that's the problem is like everybody is just so cool with settling because we're so afraid to be alone. Mm-hmm. So that's, like how much people are in relationships that they don't want to be in because it's better than being by themselves. So that's that bar. But, I would say, I don't know why it happens for certain girls and not other girls. And like I said before, I wish it did happen for other girls because there's been a lot of girls in my life that were great on paper that probably would have been a great wife. But for whatever reason, in my mind, I didn't have that same, there wasn't that wonder about this girl and that pulling me, that crazy attraction pulling me to them. I guess if I had to come up with something off the top of my head, I
think main reason I'm asking you is because,
what do you think? Yeah,
I don't know. It's just interesting to me because I have seen a lot of like females do it where they like meet a guy and then like they met him like a week ago or 2 weeks ago and they're like, oh my God, I'm so in love with him. He's amazing. He's my soulmate. And I'm like, what? You like literally just met him and then they're like perfect in their eyes in so many ways. And I'm like, you're living in a false reality. Like how quickly, I don't know. So I've seen it happen a lot. So I think it's an interesting topic to like, I mean,
know what it is. Go on.
Okay, go.
Okay, yeah, it's because it's all about timing. Like, there's times in life where the reason why people make something big of a romantic partner in their head that doesn't exist is because they're already hurting and then they enter a relationship. Mm-hmm. They're confusing love with someone that's just checking boxes for them. Mm-hmm. How much people enter a relationship after a relationship? Yeah,
that's so true.
You need to grieve, dude. Like, girl, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you need to grieve. Like, you need to go through it. Like, you're just gonna date this other person. If there was ever any single time in my life, because Zach can tell you, because every single time I go on a date, I call him and I'm like, I'm in love, and he doesn't want to fucking hear it. I don't want to fucking hear it because he says the same shit to me because we're just fucking lonely. We're lonely and we're flawed and we're insecure and our need to be with someone is so strong because we crave love.
Yeah, that's
we crave security. And I think that if there's ever been a time in my life where I didn't need to be with a girl. I didn't build up a girl to be this big thing in my head. It was when I was on top of my shit.
That's true.
It was when I was doing my thing. Mm-hmm. But anytime that I've ever placed so much of me inside another girl, it was when I stopped watering everything else. Mm-hmm. It was when I just created every single sense of my happiness and my peace and my love was in this one thing. Mm-hmm. So that's the advice that I would give people that have a problem with building up other people romantically in their head to be something that they're not, is like have other pillars in your life.
Yeah, that's so true.
Your friends, your friends, your routines, your job, your career, your relationship to God. Call your mom. Like, when's the last time you called your parents and like we're grateful for them, or even gratitude, right? You said before, like, practice gratitude. It's really not that hard. Mm-hmm. The problem is that life is hard and there's things working against us, like technology, for instance. I have 110,000 followers, which is not shit, but I'm just saying, the Instagram is not on my phone right now. I don't have that shit downloaded on my phone. I download it to post 3 times a week and then I delete it.
Wow.
Like, I'm not going to fucking do that. Like, I'm not going to go swipe Instagram. I'm not going to go swipe TikTok. I like YouTube because I think it's genuinely interesting, and I think a lot of it's filmmaking. Like there's great medium to long form content on there. I like podcasting, so I'll keep that on my phone. But like, I'm not gonna. The only time I'll swipe is if I'm getting nitty gritty and doing like a content study, or if because I might. It's the phone is a really toxic, crazy thing because I'll go on my phone just to answer a message, and then an hour went by, and now my whole day is fucked up. My entire day is ruined. Like literally, like this morning, my day is not ruined. I'm very happy with how the day is going, but my peace today is gone because I logged in before to send a message, and then I was just on for too long. There was a problem with my Hoobie. I had to fix that and fucking like. So now, maybe it was what I had to do for this podcast, but I'm very tense now. So I don't know. I mean, things are working against us. So I feel bad for people that anyone that's going through something right now, I feel bad for you. I have empathy for everyone. But change starts with you. And although things are hard, it still shouldn't discourage you from taking control of your life, because we all have power, and that's when life gets really fun, when you take the power back and you start manifesting and creating the life that you want to live in a non-corny fucking way. It doesn't have to be corny. Like being aware and being conscious doesn't have to be corny. If you ask anyone that's successful, you just told me we're in your beautiful multi-million-dollar house in the hills, and you told me that one of the reasons why you have this is because you read the books and you manifested everything.
Yeah. Why do you think that it's like not as many men are like connected to spirituality or talk about it openly? I mean, there's obviously some like spiritual teachers that are men, but like it's not as common that you come across guys that are like thinking the way that you're thinking now.
Well, I mean, you go to Tibet, and like you go to a Buddhist temple, and like they're all fucking getting after it. So there are guys out there, you know what I'm saying? But like in American culture, I think way more men commit suicide than females. From what I understand about the statistics, like also like there is still a stigma around men's mental health, and the older generation. My dad doesn't believe in shit that I do. It's hysterical. Like I just did this 30-day, I'm doing this 30-day challenge. The first day I had to take a video of my body, and I didn't have anyone to do it. So I asked my dad to do it, and it was just 50 seconds of him talking shit to me, cause like, it's just hysterical to him, but like, it's just, I think that our leaders have done a really poor job. And like as nice as it is that Jake Paul is getting into self-help now and all that shit. I mean, and listen, Jake Paul did what he had to do. He's a master marketer. I'll never take that away from him. Absolute legend. But you look at the actual influencers who are out there, and you're killing people. These people are killing people. It's that serious. By you going out and flaunting and playing narratives and heavily promoting the ego and promoting like there's so much that like people promote, and those are our leaders, and those are the people that the younger generation looks up to and wants to be like. And imagine wanting to be like Jake Paul, but Jake Paul wants to be like a monk now.
Yeah, so, that's wild.
So now Jake Paul, like now kids are going to rock with him, and I respect him for that now, but imagine wanting to be like, when he was, I don't know, like their morals are out the fucking window. Like when Jake Paul, after the Tyrone Woodley fight, was like screaming in Woodley's face and acting a fool and saying all the things he was saying it because it built Jake Paul's brand. It made Jake Paul more relevant, right? And I know I'm being so heavy on Jake Paul, but it's because I don't have enough. That was the evidence. I'm not really in pop culture like that, but I can only imagine all of the other things that go on in this culture where our role models are influencing, but what are they influencing people to do?
Yeah.
Like what type of message are you actually trying to spread? And that's where like I'm so mission driven right now and that's why I think I'm the perfect storm. And this is an egoic thing of me to say, but like, thank you God, because I think my message is that, I'm just as good looking as everyone else. I'm just as hardworking as everyone else. I can film content better than every other influencer. But what I'm going to choose to do with my platform is inspire. And I'm going to write books, and I'm going to have people on my podcast that are all about self-help. And we're going to get down to the nitty and gritty, and we're going to figure out, where does anxiety come from? Where does depression come from? Why is the divorce rate so high? Why are so much of us hurting? Why are people afraid to follow their dreams and be great? And that's what we're going to speak about on through my platform. So
I love that.
Yeah.
I was going to say, what I feel like I've seen a lot with men is that, like, what they teach is very much like, you have to work hard, like you got to keep going, like get up the next day and do it again, and like just push. And what I've seen, like, because I obviously also work with men, like it comes from, like, obviously always having to be strong, never to really like feel your emotions so that you keep going the next day. But then there's like a beautiful part of spirituality where it's all about, like, how are you showing up, and like, what's your energy when you're walking into the room, and how are you affecting the situations that you're having. And so I feel like there's not a lot of, it's not as spoken about with men, that like, okay, yeah, hard work does pay off. It really does.
Of course.
But like, what are you exchanging to get there? Like you're exchanging your physical, like, health, well-being, your mental health, how you connect with people. It's like, that is also so important. And like, how long is that going to last for you to get to your successes if you're just constantly shoving that down, you know?
Yeah.
And it's
100%.
like what we promote for success. So it's wild.
Yeah. I just want, like, it's, yeah, no, it's tough, man. Life is very, it's very hard, and that's, another message that I kind of want to spread is just like, and that's why I have no problem talking about these things, is because, like, like, real shit happened to me. Like, it was not like it was not this sunshine and rainbows thing. And like, really, if you want to, coming back from like terrible anxiety, or coming back from like depression or panic attacks, is like, you got to do the work. So yeah, that's just, what we want to promote.
What's your routine? How often do you meditate?
Yeah, so I mean, like, it's, I'm in a chaos season of my life, and I'm very all or nothing, and I think it's one of the beautiful things about me. I think it's one of the bad things about me, because like, balance doesn't exist in my life, and I wish it did. But at the same time, I appreciate it because I get shit fucking done. Like, there was things that I said on this podcast today that I know changed someone's life, or inspired someone, or got them out of a bad place, or maybe even helped them with suicide. So the point of me saying that is that I have not been the best version of myself for the past 2 months. 3 months ago, I did a 30-day social media detox. It was my first YouTube video. It was a banger.
Wow.
It was a banger. Didn't go on social media at all. Was basically meditating all day. Like,
wow.
Like, literally was like just savage mode. Like, but long story short, what happened to me was, I looked at the click-through rate, and I looked at the retention and the average view duration, and I said, okay, not good enough.
Wow.
Not good enough. So what we need to do is, like, we need to ramp this up. So I've been like a doctor learning about spine surgery, like trying to learn the YouTube algorithm. So I've been obsessed with technology. So my algorithm, like my routine right now is not good. It's been wake up, work. Like, that's been my routine. And it's not that healthy. But I think I'm in a season of my life, and I'm working on not judging myself so much about it, because I think in life there are different seasons. And I think right now, the next season of my life requires a tremendous amount of it requires me to be more in the right brain, or the more disciplined brain,
that makes
right?
sense, yeah.
Versus the left, creative, meditating, peaceful brain. And that's a muscle that I know that I need to get into. A great morning routine that I would say for people is, I love, as soon as I wake up, immediately outside. Immediately outside, get sunlight. Andrew Huberman, like, super big on that, like vitamin D, like, it wakes you up, it resets your circadian rhythm, so you'll go to bed at a good time that night. Then I'll go right to a book. I read instantly. I don't want to be up without reading for too long, Because if you're trying to reprogram your subconscious mind and you're trying to overcome negative thought loops, 90% of the thoughts today came from yesterday. So we need to, right in the morning, get some new thoughts in there. So I wake up, I get sunlight, I go right to reading. As soon as I'm done reading, I'll go upstairs, I'll journal. Now I'll tap in with myself. Gratitude journal. I'm grateful. What are the things that I'm grateful for? You know? So right off the bat, we're ripping gratitude. Then we'll rip in meditation. This is the best part of the morning because I think meditation above everything is the most important thing. Now, meditation without, I think, a year of reading, 2 years of reading and kind of understanding why you're meditating, there's no point of doing it because there's going to be too much resistance. You need to go to meditation with the attitude like this is going to do something. And then through meditation, through giving it your all, after 3 months, 6 months, a year, you begin to identify what it's actually doing for you.
Wow.
And then once that's done, now I can go start my day.
Wait, go into more meditation. What is it doing for you?
Okay, so like meditation, like it's very simple. It gives you space from the neurotic chaos of your mind. And for me, whenever I meditate, right? If you can easily witness your thoughts, that's the problem with meditation. A lot of people meditate and they're like, nothing's happening. But when you meditate, you're supposed to just witness your thoughts. That's all. You're not even witnessing just your thoughts. You're witnessing your thoughts. You're witnessing your body. You're paying attention to the sounds. You're sitting behind everything. It's almost like you're here for the show. You're just going to see what's going on. And meditation for me, when I close my eyes and I begin to meditate, if my mind is over chaotic, right? Like if immediately taxes, bills, girlfriend, content, taxes, bills, content, podcast, taxes, California, like if my mind starts doing that, mental health, not good right now. We need to scale back actually on the business a little bit and the American go, and we got to tap in. Like we have to start meditating. We need to get back into it. But if you begin to meditate and you start to feel this peaceful zen, you know, that's when not only are you feeling your best, feeling your most powerful, that's when inspiration from God comes in, I feel. That's when God comes in. And that's when you get that name for your brand. You can't come up with the name. You can't come up with the name for your podcast. You're not going to find that by sitting on a whiteboard and, oh, what's this? No, like there are things that have that they come from there's a higher intelligence that brings about these things.
So true.
And that's what meditation does is you get quiet. If there's a cup, right, and there's all this water in it, if you try to put water, it's going to overflow. There's no space. You have to empty your cup. You're emptying yourself. You're giving your space from your everyday person. And then also when you give yourself space from the person that you are every day, you can begin to look at who you are and say, I don't agree with this. This jealousy is not me. This hatred is not me. And then you can begin to choose new.
Yeah. So cool. Love that. That was so good. You just made me feel so peaceful right now.
Well, I'm not faking any of this shit, you know?
Yeah, it's so good. Okay, so I appreciate you for coming on. I have a question I always ask everyone. I like to do a manifestation moment. So close your eyes and imagine where will you be in 3 years? What will you manifest in 3 years from now?
You know, it goes back to before to what I was kind of saying about my mind is so chaotic right now. So it's very hard to pinpoint 3 years because that's so much time. So that's why it took a while because I didn't want to half-ass that. You know, I didn't want to half-ass that. If there's anything I could certainly see in 3 years, there's going to be a lot, I think, for me. So a few days ago, I don't know if you saw my story, I spoke to my old college football team.
Oh, wow.
It was the first time I ever did like a public speaking since public speaking. And my heart it felt like I was about to fight someone before. You know, like I wasn't supposed to speak. My coach, I was just at practice and he's like, hey, Jay, come speak. And these are kids from South Central. Here I am, this Italian kid from New York, like speak to these kids. And you know what's funny? I used to do that. Like
Wow.
they used to call me Juice. Like I would break the team down. I would give all the speeches, but I haven't done it in so long. And long story short, it was the most me I felt since football ended.
Wow.
You know, it became because on the internet you help all these people, right? But you don't see it.
Mm-hmm.
When I was in that crowd and I was able to look at all these kids from all these different backgrounds and look at their faces and see that, like, yo, I'm doing something right now for them, right? I'm firing these kids up. Long story short, I absolutely smoked it. Like, you know, like I could send you a clip. Like we're all screaming at each other. You know, like it's insane. Like the amount of energy. And I think in 3 years I'm going to be speaking on stage in front of 100,000 people often. I think that that's going to be a big thing that I want to manifest in 3 years. Is a lot more public speaking but that comes from being that guy. Mm-hmm. You have to be that guy. So, you know, I think over the next 3 years, it's going to be a lot of work that I'm going to do on myself, a lot of work that's going to be done. And in 3 years, I want to be completely off the ground, rocking and rolling, nonprofit. We're doing a global tour, a U.S. tour. We're changing lives. And I'm building a brand that's bigger than Jake Mascato, something that'll be around forever. That's my goal next after I build Jake Mascato is I want to build another brand, something that means more. Mm-hmm. So that's my goal.
Yay, you said it here first, so it's going to happen.
Let's go.
What is your $1 billion quality that got you to where you are today?
Yeah, I'm a fucking savage, you know? Like, I'm a savage. Like, I am so, it's not hardworking, it's not resilient, it's not disciplined, it's not aggressive, tenacious, I am a fucking savage. Like, there is nothing I will not do to be successful, and it has nothing to do with money. It has nothing to do with money. It has to do with having a goal and seeing it through to completion, unless God doesn't want it. Mm-hmm. And I work with God, and that's my other $1 billion quality, mm-hmm. is that I work with God. If something is not meant for me, I'm not going to hold on to it for dear life. I'm going to let it go, and I'm mm-hmm. going to move on, and I'm going to enjoy it, and I'm going to live the best life that I can create.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Love that. Thank you so much for coming on. So tell everyone where they can find you.
At Jake Mascato. You probably already see me. Just at Jake Mascato, at The Journey Podcast. We have a fire podcast. We speak all things self-help, inspiration, all this jazz. I'm growing a YouTube channel, so that's going to be fun and exciting. Also just, flowers to her. Please like, comment, subscribe to her, because she's a savage and a legend. And this was awesome.
Thank you for coming on. You're the best. It was so fun.
You're the best. Thank you.
As always, my $1 billion baby, thank you so much for watching. Let me know what part of this episode resonated with you the most in the comments. I'm going to be reading them all. Also, you can tell me what types of topics and things you'd like to hear us talk about next. You can follow me on all social media platforms, TARUHHH, and I'll be posting new episodes every Tuesday.